Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. This is an exercise for the cases of grandfather existing with the brothers and sisters, the various situations and the various cases that we'll try to solve, some of them. So here, these are the Masail al-Jaddu wal-Ikhwa, Masail al-Jaddi wal-Ikhwa. So these are the examples or questions related to al-Jaddu wal-Ikhwa. So the first case is the case of grandfather existing with brothers and there are no sahib ufard with them and there are no other inheritors along with these two. You have grandfathers as well as only brothers and or sisters mix. And only one type of brothers and sisters will come, either ashiqa or either the ab, not mixture of them, because that is a different case. If they come in mixture, then this will turn into muadda. So, in this case, wherein a grandfather he exists with the brothers and or sisters, either real or consanguine, then there are two possibilities. Actually, there are three possibilities that how much a grandfather will get. Number one is the muqasama. Number two is 1 by 3, and the one in between is wherein 1 by 3 and muqasama both will give the same result, which means muqasama will give the same result as 1 by 3, which means it is the same. Whether you give him 1 by 3 or by Mukasma, the answer is going to be same. Now, how do you know if we saw the formula? If two times the grandfather is greater than the number of brothers and sisters, the head count, number of head count of brothers sisters, if two times of grandfather is greater than the number of head count of brothers and sisters, then Mukasma is better. Is straightforward. Mukasma. Second, if two times of grandfather is equal to numbers of head count of brothers and sisters, then this situation will exist. And it is the same whether you do give by Mukasma or you straightforward give 1 by 3, the answer is going to be same, which is 1 by 3. The third situation is when two times of grandfather, two times of the grandfather head count is less than the number of head count of brothers and or sisters. In that case, 1 by 3 is better. 1 by 3 is better. So let us try to see. See here, grandfather is how many head count? One, because there is only brother. Head count for brother is one. Now here, two times of head count of grandfather is two, and the head count of brother is only one. So two is greater than one, which means here Mukasma is better. So we'll give him by means of Mukasma. So the total number of parts we have to divide the property into is two. One will go to father and one will go to the real brother. Second question, you have a Jad and you have a Ukht Shaqiqa, grandfather and a real sister. Grandfather head count is 2. Why? Lidzakari mislu hazzil unsayain. When grandfather exists with the female, yani real sister or consanguine sister, then Lidzakari mislu hazzil unsayain. This grandfather will be like Akh Shaqiq. Okay. So Akh Shaqiq is two times that of his sister. So this is 2, this is 1. Now here also, try to see. Two times of grandfather head count is 2, which is 4, and she is only 1. 4 is greater than 1, which means here also Mukasma will give more share to the grandfather. So we'll give him by Mukasma, and the total numbers of shares are 2 plus 1, 3. 2 will go to grandfather, 1 to the sister. So 2 by 3 is the share for grandfather, which is more than 1 by 3. This is the reason we gave 2 by 3 to the grandfather. Third case, you have a grandfather and a consanguine brother. Here they are of the same gender. So head count 1, head count 1. Okay, here also see 2 into the head count of grandfather, which is 1, which is 2, which is greater than the head count of the brother, which is 1. So here also Mukasma is favorable for the grandfather. Divide the whole property into two parts, 1 plus 1, 2. Give 1 to the grandfather, 1 to the consanguine brother. Grandfather got 1 by 2, which is greater than 1 by 3. 1 by 2 is 50%, 1 by 3 is 33%. Here also you will do the same. I will not solve it completely. This is 2, this is 1. Same. 2 by 3. Total parts 3. 2 to the grandfather, 1 to the sister. Here, grandfather is head count 2. Why? Because there are females here. So, Lidakari Mislu Hazil, Unsayan 2, 1, 1. Head count of grandfather is how much? 2 into 2, 4. Sisters, 1, 1. Add them up, so they are 2. 4 is greater than 2. Again, Mukasama will work. So, 4, 2, 1, 1. Grandfather is getting 50%, which is more than 1 by 3. Here also exactly same like here, only you have Ukht Liab instead of Ukht Shakika. So, it is exactly the same. Now we have mixture of brothers and sisters. So here also grandfather will be equal to 2. Why? Because he is just like brother, Akshaqiq. This Akshaqiq is 2 head count. This is 1 head count. Now 2 into head count of grandfather is 2, which is 4. And 4 is greater than 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. 4 is greater than 3. So here also Mukasma is favorable. 5 parts, 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. 2 we give to the grandfather, 2 to this brother, and 1 to this sister. So grandfather is getting 2 by 5, which is 40%, which is still greater than 1 by 3, which is only 33%. This is the reason grandfather is getting 40% by Mukasma and not 1 by 3. Here also it is exactly the same. Okay, here also it is exactly the same because instead of Akh Shaqiq you have Akh Liab and Ukht Liab. So it is exactly the same answer you will get. Here you have a grandfather and 3 sisters. So grandfather is Liz Zakari Mislu Hazzil Unsayin. You have to consider him 2 head counts. 1, 1, 1. 2 times of grandfather is 4, and they are only 3. 4 is greater than 3. So here also Mukasma is favorable. Divide the whole property into 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. 2 to the grandfather, 1 them to each of these sisters. Grandfather is getting 40%, which is 2 by 5, and it is more than one third. Likewise, this is exactly the same because here instead of Ukht Liab, you have Ukht Shakika. Number 11, you have a grandfather and 3 brothers. Grandfather and 3 brothers. So grandfather is only 1 head count because they are only brothers, not no, not mixture of brothers and sisters, and they have 1 each. Now here something will change. You have grandfather now. 2 times of grandfather head count. How much it is? It is 2. And here you have 3. So 2 is less than 3. In this case, one third is better for the grandfather. So you will give one third to the grandfather. Okay, here you will give one third to the grandfather, and these brothers will take remaining as asaba. These 3 brothers will take remaining as asaba. So total number of parts, how many? You have to divide the property into 3 parts. So let us write 3. One part will go to grandfather, and the 2 parts will go to these 3 brothers. Now they are 3. Head count is 3. So each brother will take how much? 2 by 3. But 2 by 3 is a fraction. What to do? In order to remove the fraction, we have to multiply 2 by 3 with the least number such that the fraction disappears. So the least number is 3 only. Then only the fraction will disappear and convert into, this figure will convert into 2. So what to do? Multiply this whole column by 3. So you multiply it with 3, multiply it with 3, and multiply this number as well as with 3. So how much you get now? Total 9. 3 into 3, 9. Now instead of dividing the whole property into 3 parts, you are dividing it into 9 parts. Why? In order to remove that fraction. Grandfather will take 3 out of 9. First he was taking 1 out of 3, and the ratio is same. And here each brother now 2 into 3 is 6. So each brother is going to take 2 parts. Okay. So grandfather is taking 1 by 3. If we would have given him by Mukasama, how much he would have got? See, he is 1, and then you have 3 brothers. So total, how many parts you should have divided or you would have divided the property into 4 parts. You would have divided the property into 4 parts, and one part, if you give to grandfather, then the grandfather would have got 1 by 4, which is only 25%, which is less than 1 by 3. This is the reason we said that Mukasma is better. 1 by 3 is better for the grandfather in this case. Why? Because 2 times of the grandfather count is coming out to be less than the number of head counts for the brothers and or sisters. Here you have a grandfather and 3 akhliyab. This is also exactly like this. Only difference is now instead of shaqiq you have consanguine brothers. Here also let us see. Grandfather is two head count because Lizzakari Mislu Hazil Hussain, because they are all sisters, consanguine sisters. So two head count and they are one each. So they are five. One, two, three, four, five. Grandfather, two times the head count of grandfather, which is four. Four is less than five. Okay, so here also grandfather he will get 1 by 3. And these sisters they will take the they will be taking 2 by 3. They will be taking 2 by 3 because this is their share. This is their share. Okay, so they will be taking 2 by 3. Grandfather will take 1 by 3. They will take 2 by 3. uh, Number of parts the property should be divided into 3 because they both are 3. Denominator is same, so you only have to divide the property into 3 parts. One goes to the grandfather and two will be shared by these 5 sisters. Again, 2 by 5 is a fraction, so multiply it with the least number such that this fraction gets removed, so the number is 5. So multiply this whole column with 5. So is now 3 into 5, 15. Divide the property into 15 parts. 5 will go to the grandfather, and 2 into 5, 10. Each sister will take 2 out of 15. So grandfather is getting 1 by 3, and the sisters are getting 2 parts each. But if we would have given the grandfather by Mukasama, then how much grandfather would have received? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so whole property would have been divided into 7 parts, and grandfather would have got 2 by 7. Now 2 by 7 and 1 by 3, which of them is greater? Let's try to compare. Multiply this with 2 as well in order to make it same. So this is 2 by 7 and this is 2 by 6. Numerators are same. So the one which is the denominator where it is smaller is bigger, which means 2 by 6 is bigger than 2 by 7, which means 1 by 3 is greater than 2 by 7. So Mukasama is less favorable in comparison to grandfather getting 1 by 3. This is the reason we gave grandfather 1 by 3 and the sisters 2 by 3, because this is the maximum share for females in the Quran. This question is 14 is exactly like this. The only difference is you have a real sister instead of consanguine sister. Here you have a grandfather and four brothers. Okay, so let us see. Grandfather is one head count, and they are all of them are one. So in total they are five. Let us try to do 2 into grandfather count is 2, and they are 4. So 2 is less than 4. So here also grandfather will get 1 by 3, and these brothers will take the remaining share as asaba uh, bin nafs. So divide the whole property into 3 parts because you have only grandfather taking 1 by 3. So 3, 1, and 2 parts will be divided between these 4 brothers. So again there is fraction 2 by 4. 2 by 4 means 1 by 2. You can further divide it. But still it is a fraction. So what is the minimum number that you should multiply this 1 by 2 with in order to remove the fraction? It is 2. Then only you will get 1, which is not a fraction. So multiply this whole column with 2, 2, 2. 3 twos are 6. 1 into 2, grandfather will take 2 out of 6, and each brother will take 1. This is how it is 4. 2 twos are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now grandfather is getting 1 by 3. If you would have done Mukasma means if you would have considered grandfather to be just like the brother, then the whole property would have been divided into 5 parts, and grandfather would have got 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5 is 20%, while 1 out of 3 is 33%. This is the reason we gave 1 by 3 to the grandfather. Now, in this case, you have a grandfather, you have three consanguine brothers, and one son of the real brother. Son of the real brother will get blocked. Why? Because you have grandfather, this consanguine brother is also there. He will also block him, and grandfather can also block him. So he will not get anything. So it is as if he does not exist. So you have three akhliyab. So one, 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 one. By mukasma, you will consider him to be one, just like akhliyab. Now 2 into grandfather count is 2, and 2 is less than 3. So here also grandfather will get 1 by 3. These three brothers will take the remaining portion. Divide the whole property into 3 parts. Grandfather will take 1. 1 in how? 1 by 3 into 3 is 1. And these three brothers will take 2. Okay, these are 3. Now 2 by 3 is a fraction. How much each brother will take? 2 by 3. It is a fraction. So remove the fraction. Multiply it with the least number, which is 3, in order to remove the fraction. So multiply it with 3, whole column. 2 3 threes are 9. 1 into 3, 3. Grandfather will take 3 out of 9, and each brother will take 2. He will not take anything. Okay, if we would have done Mukasama, then grandfather would have received 1 by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 out of 4, which is 25%. 25% is less than 1 by 3. So we gave grandfather the bigger portion. Here you have a grandfather, consanguine brother, and a sister. So 2, 2, 1. Grandfather, if Mukasma is done, we'll consider grandfather to be like just like the Akhliyab. Now 2 times of grandfather count is 4, but they are 2 plus 2 plus 1, they are 5. Again 4 is less than 5, so grandfather will take 1 by 3 and not by Mukasama. And you can check, if you give him by Mukasama, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of 7 parts, grandfather would receive 2 by 7. And we just saw earlier that 2 by 7 is less than 1 by 3. So Mukasama is not favorable for grandfathers. This is the reason we are giving him 1 by 3. If you apply the formula, you need not to worry about this. So 1 by 3 to the grandfather. Denominator is 3. So total number of parts, the property should be divided into 3. These brothers and sisters will share the remaining as asaba. 1 to the grandfather and 2 to these brothers and sisters, which means you have to divide this 2 into 5 portions. 2 by 5 is a fraction. So multiply it with a number, least number, such that the fraction get removed. So this number is 5 only. So multiply the whole column with 5. So you get 15. 5 goes to the grandfather out of 15, and then 2 to the brother, 2 to this brother, and 1, not 2, 10. 2, 2, 4, 1, 5, 10. So 5, 5, 10 divided by 5. Yes, so 4, 4, 2. 4, 4, 2, sorry. So you have 10, okay? So you have 10. 10 is to be divided between 5, okay? Here, let me do it here. Wipe it out so that you can understand how I am doing. See, there are total 10 shares being divided between 5. So 10 divided by 5 is 2, which means each person will get 2. Each person means each daughter will get 2, or each girl will get 2. So if you give the girl 2, and the boys, they get 2 times of the girl, which means 4 to this brother and 4 to this brother. 4, 4, 2. This is total 10. This Zakari Mislu Hazil Unsayan. So this actually gives you the share of the female, and double it, so you'll get the share of the males. So this is how it will get divided. This is exactly the same, only difference is instead of akh liyab, you have akh shaqiq and ukht shaqiqa. You have jad, grandfather, and 2 brothers and 2 sisters here, shaqiqa. So grandfather, if you consider mukasama, consider him to be 2, 2, 2, and 1, 1, 1, 1. Now 2 times of the grandfather head count is 4. And how many brothers and sisters head count are? 2 plus 2, 4, 5, 6. 4 is less than 6. So here also we'll give 1 by 3 to the grandfather. Aslul masala, which means the number of parts the property should be divided into, is 3. 1 will go to the grandfather, and 2 shares are divided between the brothers and the sister. Brothers and the sisters. But brothers and the sisters are total 6. So 2 divided by 6 is a fraction. Multiply it with the least number, which is 6, in order to get the remove the fraction. So multiply this whole column by 6. Okay, so 6 threes are 18. 1 into 6, 6 shares will go to the grandfather, and you have now 12. Okay, 12. 12 divided by 6 is how much? 2, which means the girls, each of these females, are going to get 2 shares. Okay, and the boys will get 4, double of 2. 4, 4, 8. 8 plus 4, 4, 4, 8, and 8 plus 4, 12. This is how 12 shares are getting distributed between the boys and the girls. 20th question is exactly the same. Instead of shaqiq, you have li'ab. Okay, now you have this. Let us try to do now. These are the cases, I believe, wherein muqasama is exactly the same as 1 by 3. These are the cases 21 onwards. Let us see. Jad, Akhliyab, Akhliyab. 2 brothers, 1 grandfather. Grandfather is 1. Akhliyab 1 1. So in total, now 2 times of the grandfather head count is 2, and these brothers are also 2, so 2 is equal to 2. This is the situation whether you give them by mukasma or give the grandfather, make him take one third. Answer is the same. See how. 3. If you give grandfather 1 by 3, so divide the property into 3 parts. 1 will go to the grandfather and 2 will go to these two brothers, which means 1 each. Okay, so 1 1 1 3. So grandfather is taking how much? 1 by 3. If you do by mukasama, then also see they are 3. So 3, 1, 2, 3. 1 will go to grandfather and 1 each to the brother. So by mukasama or by giving 1 by 3, it is the same. The result is same. Grandfather is taking 1 by 3. So it doesn't matter. Either you give him by mukasama or you give him 1 by 3 straightforward. The answer is going to be same. Number 22 is same. Only you have shaqiq instead of liyab. 23 you have grandfather, real brother and two real sisters. So here grandfather is 2, brother is 2, these two sisters are 1 1 each. Now 2 times of the grandfather count, which is 2, is 4, and they are also 2 plus 1 plus 1 4. 4 is equal to 4. So here also, whether you give him by mukasma or you give him 1 by 3, the answer is same. So grandfather in both the cases, the share of grandfather is going to be 1 by 3. Okay, I'm not going to solve it. You can solve this one on your own. Here also the same situation will arise. Grandfather is 2 because there are females. So al jad lizakari mislu hazil unsain, 2 head counts, these are 1 each. 2 times of the grandfather head count is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is equal to 4. Here also either you give him 1 by 3 or you give him by mukasma 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 parts. 2 will go to the grandfather. 1, 1, 1, 1. Now 2 divided by 6 is how much? 1 by 3, which is the same as 1 by 3. So it doesn't matter. Now these are the examples wherein the along with the brothers, and the grandfather, you have ashab furud or sahib fard, one or more than one. In this case, the problem will be a little bit different. Why different? Because here you have to first give the sahib fard their shares, and then you have to see how much remains for the grandfather. If the sahibu fard, see zauj, daughter, granddaughter, mother, these are the sahibu fard. They are sahibu fard. Why? Because Allah has mentioned their shares in the Quran explicitly, which means you have to give them their shares. And then you have to see if after giving the shares, if all the property is getting exhausted between these ashabu fard, then grandfather should be given 1 by 6. You cannot deprive grandfather of 1 by, yani the least share which the grandfather is going to get is 1 by 6. Yani you grandfather is never going to be deprived of 1 by 6. Okay, so here if these people, they take all the property, give 1 by 6 to grandfather, and the shares of others will get reduced proportionately, so that they give some portion to grandfather. Okay, so their shares will be reduced proportionately in order to give grandfather his share. If 1 by 6 exactly is left after giving these people, then we give 1 by 6 to the grandfather. If less than 1 by 6 remains, then also give 1 by 6 to the grandfather. In all these in cases, the shares of these inheritors will be reduced proportionately. But if more than 1 by 6 remains after giving to the sahibu fard, then in this case, three situations arises. If more than 1 by 6 remains after giving the ashabu fard, more than 1 by 6 share remains. In that case, three situations arise for grandfather. And one of these three, yani the highest of these three, is to be given to the grandfather. What are these? Number one, say mukasma. After giving them, now you have to see, after giving them their shares, if what remains is greater than 1 by 6, then three situations are possible. Any best of these three, highest of these three, is to be given to the grandfather, either mukasma or 1 by 6 of the total property, or 1 by 3 of remaining. One of these three you have to see and give to the grandfather. Let us solve the first case and we'll see which is better for the grandfather. So here husband will get 1 by 4. Okay, because there are descendants, daughter and granddaughter are there. Daughter is going to get 1 by 2, granddaughter 1 by 6. Why? In order to complete 2 by 3. Takmila to sulusain. Mother will get 1 by 6. Why? Because descendants are there. Now let us see only this much. First see whether uh, what is there anything which remains for them or not. Is there anything which remains or not after giving it to them? So we have to find out the LCM for 4, 2, 6, 6. Okay, so you have these numbers 4, 2, and 6. Either you can find out the LCM by following the longer way. 2 twos are 4, 2 ones are 2, 2 threes are 6. Then 2 ones are 2, and 3 is not divisible. Then you have 3, 1, 1, 1. So 3 into 2, 6, 6 into 2, 12. 2 into 2 into 3 is 12. This is the LCM, which means that you have to divide the whole property into 12 parts. You can also directly find it out. 4, 2 and 6, I told you earlier. You have one from the Solusiyat and two numbers from the Nisfiyat. If this happens, then take the larger number of the Nisfiyat from the 2, 4, 8 group. In from 2 and 4, which is greater? 4. Multiply 4 with 3. You will get the same answer, 12. So anyway, 12 is the minimum number of portions you have to divide the whole property into. Out of 12, you have to give 1 by 4 to the Zawj, which means 3. Okay, 12 into 1 by 4. 3 shares to the husband. Likewise, daughter will take 6. 12 into 1 by 2 is 6. Granddaughter will take 12 into 1 by 6, 2. And mother will take 12 into 1 by 6, 2. Count them. 6, 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. See, the number of shares are 13, and the property is only getting divided into 12 parts, which means nothing remains for the grandfather. They consumed all property amongst themselves. In that case, what to do? Give 1 by 6 to the grandfather. We have, because grandfather is never deprived of this minimum share of 1 by 6, and Akh Shaqiq will not take anything in this case. He will get nothing. Now the mas'ala will change. Okay, now it is 12 only. Still it is 12. Why? Because adding another 6 will have no effect on the LCM. LCM is still going to be 12, which means 3, 6, 2, 2, 2. You will get nothing. Add them up. 2, 2, 2, 6, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the mas'ala changes from 15, which means the shares of all of these people gets reduced proportionately in order to accommodate the grandfather, and the shares will get reduced. So this is how we gave grandfather 1 by 6. Second problem. Here you have Zawj, bint ibn ibn, Jadda, Jad, and Akshaqiq. Zawj 1 by 4. Bintu ibni 1 by 2. Bintu ibnu ibni, great granddaughter, 1 by 6 to complete 2 by 3. Jadda 1 by 6, because she takes 1 by 6. Mother is not there, so she will take the position of mother. And you have grandfather. This problem is exactly like this. So you can solve it. Here also, he will not take anything. Grandfather will have to be given 1 by 6. Here you have two daughters, mother, wife, grandfather, and a consanguine brother. These two daughters, they will take 2 by 3. Mother will take 1 by 6. Zauja will take 1 by 8 because daughters are present. Now we have to see whether something remains for the grandfather, more than 1 by 6, less than, how much is remaining for the grandfather. This is what we have to see. So LCM 3, 6, 8. 3, 6, 8. There are two numbers from the Sulusiyat from the from 3, 6. Two numbers are from the Sulusiyat group, and one is from the Nisfiyat, which is 8. So in this case, you have to multiply 8 with 3 in order to get the LCM. So you will get 24 as the LCM. So daughters, these two daughters will get how much? 2 by 3 into 24. 3 ones are 3, 3 eights are 24. 2 into 8, 16. So these two daughters will take 16, which means each one of them will get how much? 8. 16 by 2 is 8. So 8 will go to her, 8 to her. Mother, 24 into 1 by 6, 4. 6 fours are 24. Wife, 1 by 8 into 24. 8 threes are 24. She will take 3. How much remains? 8 plus 8, 16. 16 plus 4. 16 plus 4 is 20. 20 plus 3, 23. Only one remains. One remains, which means something remains. This one is less than, now 1 by 24 remains. 1 by 24. 1 by 6. Which of them is bigger? 1 by 6 or 1 by 24? Obviously 1 by 6 is bigger because denominator is less here. So this number is bigger and this number is smaller. So 1 by 24 is less than 1 by 6, which means we have to give grandfather 1 by 6 and this brother is not going to take anything. Nothing remains for him. Okay. So if you add another 6 to it, there will not be any change in the LCM. There will not be any change in the LCM, which means you still have to divide the property into 24 parts only. Grandfather will take 4. Okay, 24 into 1 by 6 is 4. Yani 4 6 are 24. So 4. How much it is now? 23 plus 4, 27. Change the number to 27, which means the shares of all of these people will get reduced in order to accommodate the grandfather and give him his 1 by 6 shares, and the brother is not going to get anything. This problem is exactly the same. It is exactly the same. Instead of two daughters, you have two granddaughters. Instead of mother, you have a Jadda. She also takes 1 by 6. Zawja is as it is, and you have a grandfather and real brother. So, real brother is not going to get anything here. You have Zawj, Bint, Bintul Ibn, Jad, and Akhliyab. So, you have here grandfather, husband. Husband will take 1 by 4 because descendants are present for Ulwaris. Daughter will take 1 by 2. Granddaughter will take 1 by 6 to complete 2 by 3. Now we'll see how much remains for the grandfather. First we'll solve this. You have three numbers, 4, 2 and 6, the denominator, 4, 2 and 6. Find out the LCM. 2 and 4 are from the Nisfiyat and there is 1 from the Sulusiyat. So multiply the greater of the Nisfiyat 4 with 3 in order to get the LCM. So these are the minimum number of parts you have to divide the property into. 12 into 1 by 4, 4 threes are 12, 3 parts. 12 into 1 by 2, 2 6 are 12. 12 into 1 by 6, 6 twos are 12. 6 plus 3, 9, 10, 11. One part remains. Only one remains out of 12, which goes to the grandfather. Now 1 by 12 and 1 by 6. Which is greater? Obviously 1 by 6 is greater and 1 by 12 is small. So in this case also, we will give 1 by 6 to the grandfather. So now LCM is 2, 4 and 6 still. No effect. There won't be any change in the LCM. It will be 12. Still the property will be divided into 12 parts. We will give 12 into 1 by 6, 2 parts to grandfather also, and this brother will not take anything, and the number will change to 13. So the shares of the inheritors will get reduced in order to accommodate the grandfather to give him his share of 1 by 6. This problem is also exactly the same like this. The only difference is instead of daughter you have a granddaughter, and instead of granddaughter you have a great granddaughter. Others are all exactly the same, so answer is going to be the same. Next problem, you have two daughters, a mother, grandfather and real brother. So two daughters are going to take 2 by 3. Mother will take 1 by 6, and then you have to see how much it remains for the grandfather. So let us find out first. 3 and 6. 3 and 6. Here only Sulusiyat. So the greater number is the LCM. So you have to divide the whole property into 6 part. Now 2 by 3 into 6. How much it is? 4. Which means these two daughters will divide 4 shares. Which means each one of them is going to take 2. 2 plus 2, 4. Mother, 6 into 1 by 6 is 1. Okay, 6 into 1 by 6 is 1 share for the mother. How much remains? 2 plus 2, 4 plus 1, 5. Only 1 remains. 1 is for the grandfather. Now 1 is for the grandfather means 1 out of 6. So 1 out of 6 is equal to 1 out of 6, which means in this case also we will give grandfather 1 by 6. And for the brother nothing remains. So the LCM will not change. It will still remain 6. We'll just give 1 share to the grandfather and the whole masala will get solved. 2 plus 2, 4 plus 1, 5 and 1, 6. This is exactly the same. The only difference is instead of daughter you have granddaughters and instead of mother you have Jadda. So the problem will remain the same. You have daughter, granddaughter, mother, grandfather and real brother. So daughter will take 1 by 2, granddaughter 1 by 6, mother 1 by 6. Let us see how much remains for the grandfather now. So the LCM we have to 2 and 6. There are two numbers 2 and 6. So there is one from the Nisfiyat and one from the Sulusiyat. So simply multiply the Nisfiyat 2 with 3, you will get the LCM which is 6. So divide the property into six parts. Daughter will get 3. This granddaughter will get 1. 1 by 6 into 6 is 1. 1 by 2 into 6 is 3. 3 plus 1, 4. How much remains for the mother? 1. 1 by 6 into 6, again 1. So 3 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 5. Only 1 remains for the grandfather. Now 1 remains 1 out of 6. 1 out of 6 is exactly equal to 1 by 6, which means brother will take nothing. We will give grandfather 1 by 6. LCM remains the same. Give one share to the grandfather. The whole property will be exhausted between them, and the brother is not going to get anything. Number 10 is exactly same as number 9. In number 11, you have a grandmother, you have grandfather, and you have a real brother, and you have son of the real brother. Son of the real brother will not get anything. He will get blocked because you have grandfather as well as real brother is also there. Grandmother will take 1 by 6. Okay. Now, in this case, if you give 1 by 6 to the grandmother, how much remains after giving 1 by 6 to the grandmother? 5 by 6. And 5 by 6 and 1 by 6, which of the two is greater? Obviously, 5 by 6 is greater. Now, in this case, there are three situations. Now, here you cannot give 1 by 6 to the grandfather. Now, you have to see. There are three situations, either Mukasama or 1 by 6 or 1 by 3 of remaining. You have to see which of these three will give more share to the grandfather, and that is the share which you will give it to him, because more than 1 by 6 remains after giving the sahibu fard. So 5 by 6 remains, and 5 by 6 is greater than 1 by 6. So one of these three you have to check. So mukasma. First, what we'll do, we'll see after giving 1 by 6, how much remains. After giving 1 by 6, say 5 by 6 remains. Okay. Now find out 1 by 3 of remaining. Yani 1 by 3 of 5 by 6. How much it is? It is 5 by 18. Now check, is 5 by 18? Compare between 5 by 18 and 1 by 6. So they are different numbers. So equate the denominator. So multiply numerator and denominator by 3 so that the denominator becomes equal to 18. So now you have 3 by 18. Okay, this is 3 by 18. 5 by 18, 3 by 18. Which one is bigger? Obviously 5 by 18 is bigger, which means we will not give 1 by 6 to the grandfather. Why? Because 1 by 3 of remaining is giving us a better solution. It is giving us a higher value. 5 by 18 is greater than 3 by 18. So we will not give 1 by 6. So we rule out this possibility. We cannot give 1 by 6 to the grandfather. Now, Mukasma or 1 by 3, which of the two is better between Jad and Akshaqi? Is it Mukasma or 1 by 3 of remaining? So, grandfather in this case, if we have to give him by Mukasma, consider him as brother. So, that we have two brothers. Okay, two brothers. If you give them by Mukasma, then now solve the problem by Mukasma. You have Jadda taking 1 by 6. So, divide the whole property into 6 parts. 1 will go to the Jadda, and 5 portions will come to these two. Okay, so 5 divided by, because there are two people, there are 5 shares, so each one will take 5 by 2. 5 by 2 is 2.5. So there is a fraction. We don't like fraction. So multiply 5 by 2 with the least number such that the fraction disappears. So it is 2. Multiply this. Let me remove it from here. We have understood that 5 by 18 is greater. Okay, so now multiply the whole column by 2. So multiply it with 2. Multiply it with 2. So you have 2 ones are 2. 12. Total parts are 12. 2 grandmother will take, and 10 parts will be divided between two, which means each one of them is going to take 5. Now how much grandfather is getting? 5 by 12. So we'll see now. We will see, is 5 by 12 more or 5 by 18 more? Which of the two is greater? Because earlier we got 5 by 18. So 1 by 3 of remaining is 5 by 18. This is the answer we got earlier. Now Mukasama, how much we are getting by Mukasama? 5 by 12. See, 5 out of 12 parts is what grandfather is getting. Now, which of the two is greater? 5 by 2 is 5 by 12 is greater, or 5 by 18 is greater? In this case, since the numerators are same, say both the numerators are 5. So, wherever the denominator is less, that number will be higher, which means 5 by 12 is greater than 5 by 18. So, we will give grandfather 5 by 12 because Mukasama is giving a better result to the grandfather. It is favorable for the grandfather to give him by dividing through Mukasama. This is what how we compare the things. This problem is exactly the same like this. Only thing is you have akh liyab, so you can solve this problem. Number 13, you have Jadda, Jad, Ukht Shaqiqa, and Ibn Akh Shaqiq. So in this case, Jadda will take 1 by 6. Okay, again, what remains after giving Jadda 1 by 6 is 5 by 6. 5 by 6 is greater than 1 by 6, which means here we have to see whether uh, Muqasama is better, or 1 by 3, 1 by 6 is better, or 1 by 3 of remaining is better. So we will write down the answers. So first let us try to find out 1 by 3 of remaining. 1 by 3 of remaining, which is 5 by 6. 5 by 6 is remaining. 1 by 3 of 5 by 6 is how much? 5 by 18. Let us keep 5 by 18. Now compare 5 by 18 is with 1 by 6. This we saw earlier. 5 by 18 is greater than 1 by 6 because multiply top and bottom with 3. So you get 3 by 18. Numerator is bigger, 5, here it is 3, denominators are same, so wherever if the numerator is larger, then that fraction will be larger. So 5 by 18 is larger in comparison to 3 by 18. Okay, so we will not give 1 by 6 to the grandfather. Now we have to compare between Mukasma and 1 by 3 of remaining. So let us try to do Mukasma. Grandfather will be equal to 2 head counts and sister 1, and grandfather will block this son of the real brother. Grandfather will block him. There is ijma, he will not inherit. So now you have 3 head counts. Okay, so anyway, 6, total 6. Grandfather will take 1, and these two will divide 5 between them. 5 remaining 5 will be shared by grandfather and the 3 one sister, but they are 3. So 5, each one will get 5 by 3. It is fraction, so we have to remove the fraction, multiply with the least number, which is 3 only. So multiply this by 3, 3, 3. So total parts 18. Grandmother takes 3. 15 divided by 3 is how much? 5. Which means this sister will take 5, grandfather will take 10. Nizakari mislu hanzil unsayin, 2 shares. Grandfather will take. Now how much the grandfather is taking in this case? 10 by 18. Okay, 10 by 18. Now we have to compare. 5 by 18 is big or 10 by 18 is big? Earlier, grandfather was getting C. One third of remaining is 5 by 18. And Mukasma he is getting 10 by 18. Which is greater? Obviously 10 by 18 because numerator is bigger. Denominator is same, 18, 18. 10 by 18 is 2 times of 5 by 18, which means it is better to give grandfather through Mukasma because he is getting more share by Mukasma. So likewise, try to solve these examples. I will share this sheet, inshallah, to you. Let us solve one more. Uh, this one where there is mixture. We'll solve this one. Jadda will take 1 by 6. Okay, and then you have grandfather and the brothers and sisters. So 5 by 6 remains. Okay, after giving 1 by 6 to Jadda, how much portion remains? 5 by 6. 5 by 6 is greater than 1 by 6, which means 3 situations you have to check: Mukasma, and then 1 by 6 or 1 by 3 of remaining. Okay, we will write the answers here. So 1 by 3 of remaining is 5 by 18. Let us write 5 by 18 here. Now 1 by 6 or 5 by 18, 5 by 18 is bigger, we saw earlier. So cross it out. This is better, bigger. So we will not give 1 by 6 to the grandfather. Now we have to check between Mukasma and 5 by 18, which one of them is more, so that we can give to the grandfather. So let us do Mukasma. Here grandfather will be equal to 2, Lizakari Mislu Hanzal Hussain, because there are mixtures of males and females. 2, 2, 1, 1. So how many are there? 2, 2, 2, 6, 7, 8. Give total, divide the property into 6 parts. 1 to the grandmother, and the remaining 5 will be divided between these 8 people. 2, 2, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. They are 8, which means 5 by 8. It is fraction. Multiply it with the least number, which is 8, in order to remove the fraction. So multiply it with 8. 8 6 are 48. Okay, so here multiply it with 8. Multiply it with 8. So 8 ones are 8. Grandmother will take 8 portions out of 48, and here you have 40. 40 is to be divided into by 8. You have to divide 40 into 8 people. These are 8 head counts, so 5, which means girls will take 5 and these boys will take 10. 10 plus 10, 20, 30, and there is no 2, 2, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, they are 6, not 8. 6, so we have to multiply with 6. This is a mistake. Okay, this is how you can also identify the mistakes as well. If there are mistakes, you can very easily identify the mistakes. So these are okay. Now you have six people, so multiply it with six, six, six. Okay, so you have 36, six parts to the grandmother, and 30 parts are to be divided into six people. So six fives are 30. So give five each to the girls and 10 each to the males. Oh no, we have really eight. We did correctly earlier. It was I did not see it. Uh, there are eight people actually. Okay, so we'll do it again. No problem. So we have five parts divided into eight people. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 by 8 into dash. Multiply it with 8 in order to remove the fraction. So 8, 8, 8. 8 6 are 48. 8 parts to the grandmother. And now you have 8 5s are 40. 40 to be divided between 8 people. This is 8. We write it properly. No confusion. 2 plus 2, 4 plus 2, 6, 7 and 8. So they are 8 people. So 40 shares. This is 8 into 5. 40 shares to be divided amongst 8 people. Which means each one will get 5 and each female will get 5. Okay, so 5, 5. And the boys will get 2 times of 5. So 10, 10, 10. 30 plus 10, 40. Okay, so now grandfather, how much he is getting? He is getting 10 by 48 by Mukasma. 5 by 18 by 1 by 3 remaining. Which of the two is greater? Let us try to compare. 10 by 48 and 5 by 18. Which of the two is greater? Make this also as 10 numerator. Okay, so you have 10 by 48 and here you have 10 by 36. Which of the two is greater? If the wherever the denominator is lesser, that number is greater. Here it is 48, here it is 36. So this number is bigger and this is smaller, which means Mukasma is not favorable. We will give one third of remaining to the grandfather. We will give how much? One third of remaining to the grandfather. So again we have to change the masala. We saw now, we have finalized and identified that which of the three out of the three options it is better for the grandfather to take. And we saw that 1 by 3 of remaining is to be given to the grandfather and Mukasma is not good for the grandfather. So we will give grandfather 1 by 3 of the remaining. So we'll do this problem and we'll end now after this. Remaining you will try to do because this miras it demands a lot of uh, you know practice. So 1 by 3 of remaining we will give to the grandfather. So what to do? Total divide the property into six parts. Okay, divide the property into six parts. Give one to the grandmother. What remains? 5 by 6. 5 by 6 remains. So 1 by 3 of 5 by 6 is 5 by 18, which means multiply this column by 3. Multiply this column by 3. So 18. Okay, this is 18. So grandmother will take 3 and grandfather will take 5. Okay, because 5 by 18. So 5 out of 18 grandfather and 3 grandmother, total how much? 8. Remaining are 10. 10 are divided between these brothers and sisters like 2, 2, 1, 1. Yani 2, 2, 4, 5, 6. They are 6 people. 10 shares in 6 people. 10 shares in 6 people, which means further divided 2 fives are and 2 threes are. You can divide this because we want the minimum number. So divide as much as possible. Now multiply it with the least number, which is 3, in order to remove the fraction, which means multiply this 18 further by 3. Okay, so let us do it here. Is make it 18 here itself and write it down as 3 and let me write it down as 5. So here you have 3, here you have 5. This is how we gave. And this is the one third of remaining, which is 5 portions to the grandfather. Now multiply this by 3 further. 3 in order to remove the fraction. So into 3, into 3, into 3. So 18, 3 into 18 is 54. 3 threes are 9. 5 threes are 15, and 30. 30 shares to be divided between 6 people. Each one will take 5, which means girls will take 5 and boys will take 10. So now this is the division. Okay, 10 10 to the brothers, 5 5 to the sisters, 15 to the grandfather, which is one third of the remaining, which is better in comparison to Mukasma. And this is how the property will be divided between them. And this problem is exactly same like number 21. Okay, so let us do this one because there are two people who are Sahib Fard. There are two, Bint and Jad. Zawj and Bint, two. So Zawj here, she will take 1 by 8. Daughter will take 1 by 2. Okay. Now how much remains? We'll see after giving 1 by 8 and 1 by 2. How much remains for how much remains? So here the LCM is going to be see, out of 2 and 8, the higher number is the LCM, which is 8. So if you take 8, so one portion and 4. 4 plus 1, 5. So how much remains? 3. 3 divided by 8. Now 1 by 6 is bigger or 3 by 8 is bigger? Multiply this by 3, multiply this by 3, which means 3 by 18. 3 by 8 or 3 by 18, which is bigger? 3 by 8 is bigger, which means 1 by 6 is smaller. So here three situations arise. Three situations arise, either Mukasma or 1 by 3 of remaining or 1 by 6 of the total. So we have to see Mukasma, 1 by 3 of remaining or 1 by 6. Which of these three will give us better result for the grandfather? So now first let us find out 1 by 3 of remaining. How much remains? 5 3 by 8 remains. Okay, 1 by 4, which is 1 plus 4 is 5. So 3 out of 8 are remaining. Now 3 out of 4 into 1 by 3 out of 8, 3 by 8 into 1 by 3, 1 by 8. Now compare 1 by 8 with 1 by 6. Which of them is bigger? 1 by 6 is bigger, which means this option is not good. 1 by 3 of remaining is not good for the grandfather. So we will compare between 1 by 6 and Mukasima. 1 by 6 is greater because denominator is smaller. So 1 by 6 is greater. So let us see Mukasima. If we are doing Mukasima, okay, if we are doing Mukasima, then let us see. Let me write down this at least 1 by 8, 1 by 2. Mukasima, which means grandfather is 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Which means 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are total 7 people. So if you give now 8 is the this 8 portions, you have to divide the property, 1 for the wife, 4 for the daughter, and the remaining how many? 3 are to be divided between 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yani 3 by 7. 3 by 7 is a fraction. You have to multiply the whole column with what? With 7 to remove the fraction because this is the denominator. So multiply it with 7. Okay, so 56. 7 eights are 56, 7 ones are 7, 7 fours are 28, and 7 threes are 21, which means each daughter will take, no, 7 threes are 21. This has to be divided in 7 people. So 21 divided by 7 is how much? 3, which means each girl will take 3 and the grandfather will take 6 because Lizzakari Mislu Hazil Unsayin. If you add them up, you will get 21. See, 3, 3, 3, 3, 15, 15 plus 6, 21. This 21. Now 6 divided by 56, how much it is? Because we have to see whether 1 by 6 is bigger or 6 by 56 is bigger. So 6 by 56 and 1 by 6, we have to compare between them. So first try to reduce it. 2 threes are and 2 into 28. Now 3 by 28 is bigger or 1 by 6 is bigger? We have to see. Multiply it with 3. Make the numerator same. So now you have 3 by 18. 3 by 6, 28 is bigger or 3 by 18 is bigger? Obviously 3 by 18 is bigger. Why? Because denominator is small. So the small denominator means the fraction is bigger, which means giving 1 by 6 to grandfather is better. So we will give grandfather how much? 1 by 6. So we have to correct the masala. We have to correct the masala and we will give, will not give, will not give by mukasama, rather will give by will give 1 by 6 to the grandfather, and these daughters, these girls. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum.